Saw dudes, I finally made a Strand Hunter build. After getting the Navigator and its catalyst, I fell in love with the Strand subclasses and got to work with build crafting. I was wondering how Hunters were faring with the new aspect, Threaded Specter, and was fairly surprised to see that it slaps. Combined with 6 Coyote, you will be able to set up near permanent distractions and operate in safety. With this build, you will have infinite grenades, melees, and dodges. Not only that, you will essentially have 3 to 4 failsafes to prevent you from dying, making this build the ultimate combat anchor for enemy fire team. Let's get started. The only super you can run is Silkstrike, but don't worry. Silkstrike does great damage to bosses and is also great for clearing out rooms of beefy adds. The jump is entirely up to you, but I was trying to use strafe jump in the footage. For the class ability, the best choice is Gambler's Dodge, as it fully refunds melee energy when it is used near an enemy. Like the super, we only have one melee choice, that being Threaded Spike, which severs on hit with an enemy and can chain to multiple enemies. Severing an enemy cuts their damage output down by 33% and is one of our failsafes. Shackle Grenade is our grenade of choice for the suspend debuff, which completely locks down enemies and neutralizes barrier and unstoppable champions. For the aspects, we're running Threaded Specter and Widow's Silk. Threaded Specter deploys a Strand decoy that draws attention of nearby combatants on the activation of a dodge ability. When the decoy receives enough damage, or enough combatants come close, it detonates, dealing damage and releasing Threadlings. This aspect saves our asses when things get dicey. With it, our Gambler's Dodge becomes an oh shit button and now does decent damage. Widow's Silk gives our Shackle Grenade 2 charges. This seems basic, but layers more survivability onto our Hunter. For the fragments, I went with Thread of Mind, Wisdom, Generation, and Continuity. Thread of Mind returns class ability energy when defeating suspended targets. Wisdom provides another source of orb creation when killing suspended targets with precision shots. Generation is a staple fragment and helps upkeep grenade energy. And finally, Continuity extends the duration of sever and suspend debuffs on enemies. If you like, Thread of Wisdom can be switched out for Thread of Evolution or Rebirth. Now let's go over the armor mods. Starting with the helmet, I use Special Ammo Finder, Harmonic Siphon, and Dynamo. With the gauntlets, I slotted Grenade Kickstart, Focusing Strike, and Bolstering Detonation. On 6 Coyote, I ran 2 resistance mods dependent on the activity and 1 Harmonic Reserves mod. The resistance mods can be switched for different elements for survivability or another Harmonic Reserves mod. For the legs, I ran Recuperation, Insulation, and Harmonic Scavenger. Finally, on the cloak were Bomber, Reaper, and Powerful Attraction. Powerful Attraction can be swapped for Distribution if you want even more ability regen. Like most PvE builds, aim to hit 100 resilience for the 30% damage reduction. After that, I would prioritize mobility for the dodge uptime, then discipline for the grenade recharge. Strand subclasses did get treated to some artifact perks, so we will be using Improved Unraveling, Strand Soldier, Conductive Cosmic Needle, and Squad Goals. This build works independently of these mods though, so you can use it in the future with no worries. The main weapon loadout that I have been using is the Navigator in the Kinetic slot, Posterity in the Energy slot, and Hothead in the Heavy slot. The Navigator provides us with Woven Mail, freeing up a Fragment slot and increasing our survivability. It doubles as another method of severing targets, making them hit like wet noodles. My Posterity was crafted with Full Shot so that I can stun Overload champions, but that's entirely optional. Otherwise, it just provides really good ability regen because of its origin trait. Hothead, like I said in other videos, is just a good weapon. However, I have been trying out the Linear Fusion Rifle, Laser Painter from Gambit, as an alternative. Let's go over just how much you're getting with this build. I want to start by saying you will be getting an insane amount of damage mitigation without the hassle of using a sword or glaive. Woven Mail provides 60% damage reduction, Severing grants 33%, 100 resilience grants 30%, and 1 elemental resistance mod grants 15%. With this formula, shown on screen, we're coming out to 84% damage resist, which only requires a few seconds of firing the Navigator at a target. Better yet, we have the ability to sever crowds of enemies via Threaded Spike, so we don't even need to waste more ammo to apply the debuff to other enemies. And if all that was not enough, we can completely stop enemies with Shackle Grenades and remove aggro completely with our dodges. Not only are Hunters the new juggernauts, they completely and utterly dominate enemies. The game loop of the build is to first throw the Threaded Spike at a group of enemies and then immediately dodge. This will pull aggro away from you, but will also sever any targets that are still on your tail. Afterward, fire the Navigator at targets to proc Woven Mail, then get to work. You can use Shackle Grenades on pesky captains or fodder. Either way, ability energy will be refunded back extremely fast. Just rinse and repeat. This build was extremely fun to put together, and it's genuinely a blast to play. My build videos are a little lacking, so I hope this makes up for it. Thank you for watching.